Imagine a shadow stretching across the heart of America, not cast by a monument, but by a star. A star that burns so brightly, it defines success, yet forever haunts those who wear it. The genesis of a myth. What truly birthed this extraordinary identity, this almost mythical designation of America's team? It wasn't a proclamation from the owner's suite, nor a fancoin chant echoing through stadiums. It was a single phrase uttered in the quiet confines of an NFL film's editing bay in 1978. For a documentary chronicling the Cowboys' 1970s ascent, writer-narrator Bob Ryan, witnessing their unprecedented ability to captivate audiences across the nation, regardless of geography or allegiance, simply declared them America's team. It was an observation, a recognition of an undeniable truth. Wherever they played, a sea of blue and silver followed, viewership records shattered, and conversations ignited. They were undeniably captivating. But this simple label, born of truth, would quickly evolve, transcend its origins, and become a self-fulfilling prophecy, a brand, and eventually, something far more complex, a crown woven with both glory and an unseen burden. Architects of an empire. How did mere athletes and coaches forge an empire of expectation, an almost sacred institution that would dominate not just the scoreboard, but the national consciousness? From their humble beginnings as an expansion team in 1960, under the stoic, hat-wearing genius of coach Tom Landry, and the visionary leadership of general manager Tex Schramm, the Cowboys didn't just build a football team, they engineered a machine. Landry, a meticulous innovator, designed the flex defense, a revolutionary scheme that confused opponents and laid the groundwork for consistent defensive dominance. His calm, almost robotic demeanor belied an intensely competitive spirit that seeped into every player. Schramm, a marketing savant, understood that football was more than a game, it was entertainment. He pushed for instant replay, a more dynamic halftime show, and crucially, understood the power of branding, creating the iconic blue star logo that would become one of the most recognizable symbols in sports. They cultivated an image of professionalism, discipline, and quiet confidence. From quarterback Don Meredith's charming irreverence to the focused intensity of Roger Staubach, they had stars who not only performed but embodied an aspirational ideal. They turned losing seasons into learning experiences, slowly, methodically, ascending to national prominence, culminating in the dazzling Super Bowl VI victory, and then another in Super Bowl XII. Their meticulously crafted brand of winning, combined with a flair for the dramatic, began to embed itself into the American psyche. It was this foundation, this deep-seated identity as a winning, trailblazing, and aesthetically pleasing organization, that Jerry Jones would later inherit and, in his own inimitable style, exponentially amplify. He wasn't just buying a team in 1989, he was acquiring a legacy, a mythology, and an unprecedented opportunity. And he would seize it with an ambition that would shock the league, pioneering an ownership model where he not only acquired the team but also purchased all ancillary rights, stadium operations, concessions, merchandising, a radical departure from traditional league revenue sharing, triggering bitter legal battles that fundamentally reshaped how every sports franchise operates today. The Star's ascendance. What dark currents ran beneath this dazzling facade of invincibility, even as the star burned brightest? The 1990s saw the Cowboys transform into an unstoppable force, a modern dynasty built on the backs of Hall of Famers, the cannon-armed Troy Aikman, the bruising elegance of Emmitt Smith, and the electrifying charisma of Michael Irvin. This Triplets era, orchestrated by the fiery, uncompromising genius of coach Jimmy Johnson and the audacious vision of owner Jerry Jones, delivered 3 Super Bowl titles in 4 years. They weren't just winning, they were dominating with swagger, a primetime spectacle that transcended the sport. Their games were events, drawing massive ratings, igniting debates, and solidifying their place as cultural behemoths. But behind the glitz and the Gatorade showers, a profound tension simmered. The partnership between Johnson and Jones, which had birthed this new golden age, was a volatile brew of genius and ego. Both men were fiercely ambitious, convinced of their own indispensability. Jones, a hands-on owner, yearned for the spotlight, often inserting himself into football decisions, much to Johnson's chagrin. The whispers of their clashes grew louder, until they erupted into public spectacle. The most notorious instance involved an almost unbelievable confrontation where Johnson explicitly told Jones that he could not enter the locker room after a game, a direct challenge to the owner's authority. This open hostility, this power struggle between two architects of unparalleled success, climaxed with Johnson's unceremonious departure after the 1993 season, a decision that shocked the sports world and proved that even at the pinnacle of glory, unchecked ambition could tear apart the most successful partnerships. The star was flying high, but the internal fissures were already forming, a subtle crack in the foundation of their seemingly unbreakable empire. Beyond the gridiron. How did a football team transcend sport to become a global phenomenon, a symbol of a nation itself, its reach extending far beyond the confines of the gridiron? The answer lies in a masterful blend of charisma, star power, and Jerry Jones's relentless business acumen. He understood that America's team was not just a label, it was a brand, a product to be marketed, globalized, and monetized. He pushed the boundaries of sports marketing, turning the team into a multi-billion-dollar enterprise. The iconic star logo was plastered on everything imaginable, from jerseys to coffee mugs, sold in every corner of the globe. Their state-of-the-art stadium, AT&T Stadium, wasn't just a venue, it was an entertainment complex, a monument to excess and spectacle, featuring the world's largest high-definition video screen, private luxury clubs, and an atmosphere designed to dazzle. Every element was crafted to amplify the brand, to turn a football game into an unforgettable event. But perhaps no element underscored their cultural reach more profoundly than the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Initially a mere sideline attraction, they were transformed by Schramm and later elevated by Jones into an international phenomenon. They became pioneers, a dance squad that wasn't just performing routines, but representing an idealized image of American feminine athleticism, grace, and showmanship. Their calendars, TV specials, and tours cemented them as a global cultural export, inadvertently becoming an ambassador for a certain glamorous vision of America, arguably transcending even the team itself in terms of international recognition and influence, proving that the Cowboys' legacy stretched far beyond any single play or championship, deeply embedding itself into the fabric of popular culture. The weight of the crown. Why, after such unparalleled heights, did the star seem to lose its brightest gleam, entering an almost perpetual twilight of unfulfilled promise? Following their Super Bowl XXX victory in 1996, a strange and perplexing drought began. The glory days of the 70s and 90s receded into memory, replaced by a nagging pattern of near misses, heartbreaking playoff exits, and seasons that promised much but delivered little. The team, still boasting incredible talent, still generating immense fanfare, seemed unable to replicate the ultimate success. Coaching changes came and went: Barry Switzer, John Gailey, Dave Campo, Bill Parcells, Wade Phillips, Jason Garrett, Mike McCarthy. Each arrived with hope, each departed without another Super Bowl ring. The question lingered, a persistent echo in the minds of millions: what happened? Was it bad luck? Poor drafting? The salary cap issues that followed the glory years? Or something more profound, more insidious? The pressure of being America's team became an almost unbearable weight. Every loss was magnified, every disappointment became a national tragedy, every missed playoff birthed a crisis. The narrative shifted from inevitable success to perennial struggle, yet the fascination remained. Their games continued to draw record audiences, their merchandise still flew off the shelves. They became the most talked about team, not always for their victories, but for their captivating, almost Shakespearean drama of aspiration meeting frustration. The legacy of winning turned into the shadow of winning, constantly reminding them, and the world, of what once was and what, agonizingly, refused to return. The unspoken truth. What if the very identity that propelled them to glory became their most profound burden, an invisible shackle forged from expectation itself? For decades, the Dallas Cowboys have been more than a football team. They are an institution, a brand, a saga. Their narrative is one of triumph and tragedy, innovation and stagnation, unbridled ambition and frustrating limitations. We've seen the champions, the icons, the business titans who built an empire. We've watched the stars rise and fall, the dynasties crumble, and the relentless pursuit of a sixth Super Bowl title turn into a Sisyphean quest. But the real mystery, the chilling truth that lies beneath the surface of all the analysis and all the drama, isn't just why they haven't won another Super Bowl. It's about what America's team truly represents in the modern era. It's about the transformation of a sports franchise into something almost entirely separate from its core purpose. The perpetual drama, the global recognition, the relentless pursuit of an elusive dream, all of it combines into a spectacle so compelling, so intricately woven into the fabric of American entertainment, that it transcends mere wins and losses. The shocking truth isn't found in their trophy case, or their record books, but in the insidious power of their own brand. America's team, initially a compliment, then a marketing slogan, has ultimately transformed the Dallas Cowboys into something horrifyingly unique, the most profitable reality show in professional sports. Their enduring inability to achieve ultimate victory, paradoxically, has become integral to their global appeal, a perpetual cliffhanger that ensures eyes remain glued to the screen, merch continues to sell, and the narrative of the glorious struggle continues to captivate. The drama of the search for past glory, the agony of defeat, and the tantalizing promise of next year are now more valuable, more compelling to their global audience, than the actual attainment of a championship, effectively turning them into a multi-billion-dollar cultural mirror reflecting America's complex, endless fascination with success, image, and the agonizing pursuit of an elusive dream, where the struggle itself has become the ultimate product. Imagine a shadow stretching across the heart of America, not cast by a monument, but by a star, forever chasing its own reflection.